life. I've been so excited to listen to this song. Hope, hope. I've got hope.
Hope. Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me. I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying for my soul. Hope. 30 years you've been dragging your feet.
I was not expecting the song to start like that. That was beautiful. Okay. He's out in the middle of the ocean. I just feel like that is how so many people feel. Like I'm literally stranded in the middle of the ocean and I'm just trying to hold on to this little life raft. Like my life raft is hope. I don't know if that's where it's going, but like, okay.
30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're stagnant. 30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at? I don't want you to feel like a failure. I know this hurts, but I gave you your chance to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong. Nature had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is. Tucking their toe between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something.
Hold on. Hold on a second. This is really interesting. It's like, again, we're seeing like these versions of himself. I feel like he's talking to himself, like different pieces him. Like, don't get me wrong, Nate, you've had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. And I love this line, this whole section. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says. And then what's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. I think that gets lost. Your uniqueness, your unique voice being imbued into your creation automatically means that it's something that no one else can create. So whatever your dream is, like no one else can do it exactly the way that you can do it. And that is so beautiful. Like no one else can do it the way exactly NF can do it. I just love, I love this journey that we're on. I love that he's like, you know, in the other videos, he's like, I don't know. I'm imagining that the white symbolizing something, that he's wearing all white as well in this. And maybe that's a different version of himself. Let's go back a touch.
Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more profit because they'd rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I
he's like battling with himself. Like, I feel like this white version, his hopeful self, and like all the work he's done, and that like that version that's getting to come to the surface a little bit more. And then this version that's dressed in all black is kind of the one that, like, when he starts to hope, talks him down off the hope. And when he starts to like reach for more, this map is interesting. It's taking me back a little bit. I feel like, yeah, I'm just thinking about like when you're looking at a map, like you're looking for something, the search, we did that one. These lyrics are so powerful, and how he's trying to speak more life into this version of himself. Like, this is who I'm trying to be, a person who sees the bright side in the dark times when there ain't one. It's someone who keeps fighting. It's someone that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. Like, that's who he's trying to be here. And now this like other guy's coming in, and it sounds like he's not being so nice. Let's see.
It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in. They get it.
I just have to pause before we even get into it. This is so real that when you start to cultivate hope in your life, the piece of you that is afraid of hope, that feels like it's dangerous to hope, will naturally rise up and try to fight against this, because hope is defiant and it puts you at risk for disappointment. And if you are a person who has had a hard time with disappointment in the past, that is a really scary thing to put yourself at risk to. But if you don't hope, it's even riskier, because without hope, then there's no reason to keep pushing forward. Being in a place of hopelessness is actually the riskiest place to be, because it puts you in a place where there's no possibility for a better future. And that's a quick spiral, easy spiral down into suicidality, into self-harm, into depression. And so although hope is risky, it is less risky than not hoping. But sometimes that little part in us doesn't see that right away, and it's trying to protect us. So I just had to note that. And if you're at a place where you feel like it's really scary to hope because you're scared of being disappointed, please share in the comments by tagging at HeartSupport. If you feel like you're starting to hope and there's a part of you that's coming up raging against that, please share that in the comments by tagging at HeartSupport. We're doing Kuyachu. Okay, where'd he fall? Let's go. Body hits the floor. Don't love that. What's reality with all these questions? Yo, when I tell you I've been listening to this song on repeat since we covered it, Mansion is my favorite song. It's going to be my top Spotify rap song this year. I can tell you because I've listened to it 1,000 times. Okay, so he's in his mansion. So he's in his mansion. He's in his mansion. Sorry, I got too excited. Sorry if you had to listen to my singing. Okay. This is good.
Necessary evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I'd never hit my bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a prime example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Took me 30 years to realize that if you want to get the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you gotta be someone you're not to hear the voice of reason. Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did.
What? Oh my gosh. He's moving through his mansion differently. He's realizing that, yeah, the mansion, there's sometimes you want to lock the door. Sometimes it's scary to let people in. But It's necessary. And he's realizing that that pain point at the that he was at in his mansion that he felt trapped in, like that mental breakdown. Yeah, it was negative, but it was the push he needed to open the door and let someone in. That rock bottom is the foundation for who he is today. This is like, can you imagine? Like, I'm a prime example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Like, do that. Like, I was scared too. I get it. My mind felt like a home I was trapped in. I know what it feels like to live here and only feel pain. So I get it. And I know now that I'm on the other side that you can face the mansion differently, that you can experience your mind differently. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about, don't get it twisted, that was in the shop. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30.
This man is brilliant. Mama, I forgive you. I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. Can we just talk about the levels of recognition, the layers of that? Like recognizing that his mom not showing up made him feel like he wasn't enough, forgiving her for that because he knows that she had her own demons and she was doing the best she can. And then recognizing that his pain could lead him to continue that cycle with his son, but he's doing the healing to make sure that it doesn't, to break that generational cycle. Like, oh my gosh.
30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of fate, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never evolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking the reins.
Are you so serious? This is a masterpiece. Okay, let's talk about it. I think there is so much gold in this video. There's so much that I could talk about, but there's a couple things that I want to highlight. One, the authority that he gives himself on pain by recognizing that he experienced 30 years of it and he still found healing and is no longer in that place, makes it possible that that could be your experience too. He went through 30 years of sorrow, anger, pain, shame, anguish, sadness, change, suffering, and he is no longer chained to that. The fact that that has been his experience is hope for you, that if you've experienced 30 years of pain, it might not always be your experience. And that is beautiful in itself. But I want to highlight something else actually, because in the end of this song, what we see happen is that as his hope rises, that voice of inner critic, that you're not enough, you'll never evolve, that is also rising too. And sometimes as we get stronger, it feels like our voice of defiance against healing also gets stronger too, because change is scary, even if it's change in the right direction. When you are used to these beliefs, they will fight to stay in your life. And so actually, we need to acknowledge that sometimes an increase of these beliefs sometimes doesn't necessarily mean that we're not healing. Sometimes it means that they are trying like heck to hold on to their pull in our life. And it's a conscious decision to allow that part of us to exist and still give the reins to the part that has hope. I'm taking the reins. I get that you're here. I get that you're trying to protect me. I get that you're scared of change. that part that comes up and says other things. I get that you're afraid if I hope I might be disappointed. I hear that. I thank you for trying to protect me. I don't need that protection right now. If I need it, I'll let you know. But right now, what I need is hope to take the reins. Right now, what I need is to move through life with this belief that I can turn my pain into my purpose, because I've seen myself do it in the past. I've seen other people do it before me. When you listen to this song, I want you to allow hope to coexist. Being hopeful doesn't mean not feeling anything else. Being hopeful doesn't mean not having doubts. Being hopeful doesn't mean not hearing that voice that tells you you're not enough, you'll never get better. That voice, it might be there for a while and it'll eventually get quieter as it gets proof that it is safe to hope. But when you listen to this song, I want hope to coexist. Because if you have to only be hopeful, that is a really hard standard. But if you can see that Nate changed his life with the coexisting of hope and doubt at the same time by making a decision to give hope the reins, that's what this song can do for you. When you listen to it, you allow both of it to exist together, and you consciously decide to give the torch to the part of you that has hope. Oh my gosh, this song is freaking magical. I'm obsessed. NF, I love you. Thank you. And if you are having a hard time giving hope the reins in your life, I want you to share that in the comments by tagging out HeartSupport. And if you want to be someone who brings up hope in other people, I want you to do that with us. There are NF fans that need you, need your support. They don't need a therapist. They don't need NF. They just need someone to walk alongside them. And we will teach you how to do that. Just click the link below and you can volunteer with us and help fans in this community. Please, please, please. You are important. You might be the hope that somebody else needs. Okay. I love you guys. Oh my gosh.